what we call the chain of survival. It's a big cycle, a lot of people involved, and includes people who recognize that there's a problem.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
Call to 911 is the next big step. Usually because the police department are out, they'll be the first ones on scene.
So we're going to start CPR.
I was working as a field training officer, training police officer Dana DeGraff, and we were called to an echo medical, which for us is generally a cardiac event, a CPR in progress call. I mean, the nature of our job is any moment we have to be ready for any varying type of call. We come on duty, we are ready for the community's needs. Walked into the residence, there was a family member or a friend of Ed that was doing CPR on Ed at that time. We took over, Dana started compressions while I prepped our AED. We got that applied quickly. Our AED advised to shock. We administered that shock. Officer Dan Roper showed up at that time, and then shortly after the medics arrived.
Then it goes to the fire service, and we usually roll out of our house with a medic unit and a couple of engines.
We heard Dillon police lights and sirens go by our station. Probably a minute later, we got the page for a cardiac arrest.
I got your radio. Break engine 8, respond to a echo cardiac.
Our fire crew showed up. Dillon PD was doing excellent CPR. The AED advised shock, shocked him. We were doing their 2 minutes of CPR. So he actually did have a pulse. We started preparing him for transfer and actually lost the pulse. We pushed a drug called magnesium sulfate, and once we gave him magnesium sulfate, we were able to maintain that perfusing rhythm. Successfully got him to the hospital in a lot better shape than when we arrived.
At that time, we turn him over to the doctors and their team, and then of course they kind of bring it to a conclusion, but then there's also another step, and that is recovery.
Dearest EMTs of Summit County, there are no words to express our deepest gratitude for not giving up on Ed Perry and his recent heart attack. The cardiologist said there is less than a 1% chance of survival of anyone who has had CPR for 30 minutes. After 10 minutes of pumping, the survival rate is less than 5%. Your determination and strength of working on Ed will never be forgotten. 1.5 hours. Our 30-year-old son and our 28-year-old daughter also send huge hugs and prayers to you. Also consider this a thank you from the people who don't survive or don't reach out after the fact. Love, Ann, Ed, Hayden, and Hannah Perry.
This medic unit, they work closely
Thank
together.
you for saving my life.
That evening we did go to the hospital, get back with the family and just see if there was anything that we could do to assist them. We did not anticipate that Ed would have the outcome that he did. And we got there right as they were loading to Flight for Life. And they're like, yeah, he's got a steady heartbeat. He's going down to the cath lab in Denver.
He was discharged from the hospital with no neurodeficits, so best possible outcome for someone who had been in cardiac arrest.
These are the people that saved my life. They're wonderful. They saved my life. What else can I say? I mean, to do that, it's amazing.
People are calling us because they want help on the worst day of their lives, generally speaking. And so training is paramount in the fact that it's repetition, so that when you get to that, there is a calm, there is an efficiency. Everyone kind of knows their position, what they're expected to do, and it starts to show in the numbers of survival, especially in this situation.
About 4 years ago, we started doing something we call high-performance CPR, where we still need to take our 3, 4, 5-hour CPR class every 2 years, but we also do 20, 30-minute cardiac arrest scenarios every month. Before we started doing this, our rate of survival was 8.8%, and since then, for the last 5 years, it's been over 27%.
We don't really consider ourselves heroes. To coin a phrase, we work in a company of heroes.
Right here. A hero is someone that goes above and beyond what they have to do, whether it be to save someone's life. That's a hero to me.
Not all the calls have happy endings, so you have to relish those that do. This has been the 4th cardiac arrest save I've been able to be part of. All of them really confirm to me why I do my job, and they make the hard calls a little easier when you know you're able to be part of a system that helped someone return to their family.